Elon Musk is facing increasing pressure. Lawmakers and advertisers say anti-Semitic content appears frequently on X.
Musk previously said he wants free speech on the platform. How's it working out for him? Host of NTD Business, Don Ma, speaks to an analyst.
And now joining us is Jeremy Tedesco from Alliance Defending Freedom. Now, Jeremy, let's talk about X, formerly known as Twitter. It's been a little over a year since Elon Musk has taken over. And from the get-go, he set out to put free speech back into the platform, among other things. So how has he done in this respect, in your expertise?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job, but there's definitely room for improvement. We've definitely seen him take several different steps, from the Twitter files to changing some policies that really opened up the opportunities for speech more so on the platform. But there's still a lot of concerning policies on the books, and there's things that he still can do that'll make a big difference.
Over the past year, a lot has happened, including critiques from different outlets and reports of advertisers leaving the platform. What is your reaction to these kind of things, especially the critiques?
Well, I mean, he's been under a lot of pressure, and I think it's great that he's really stood for free speech and made a real case in the public square for the importance of that. There are no other tech companies that are so vociferously trying to defend free speech and how essential it is to democracy and to progress. Now, whether his actual running of the company and the decisions he's made comport with his commitments is a question that's an open question. A lot of people criticize him. I mean, we're happy with where he's led the company, but we still think there's a lot of changes that he needs to make it truly a platform for free speech.
Yeah, maybe let's talk a little bit about that. What are some of the changes in your view that still needs to be implemented for this to be better?
Yeah, I think he needs to change the hateful conduct policy. Essentially, he just needs to eliminate it. He eliminated the misgendering policy, which was a great step that had been used to shut down a lot of speech on the critical issue of gender identity, the idea, the concept and debate around men competing in women's sports, for instance. But the hateful conduct policy allows employees at the company and external and internal activists to demand the same kind of censorship the misgendering policy did, not just on gender identity, but on a whole host of issues. So I really think this whole idea and concept of hate speech or hateful conduct needs to be jettisoned by the social media companies for there truly to be free speech on their platforms.
So it's a balancing act, it seems, from my perspective, because when you have absolute free speech, I mean, what does that look like? When do you censor, for example, misinformation, let's say, hypothetically, disinformation and personal attacks? How do you balance these things? And has he done a good job?
Yeah, I mean, look, free speech under the First Amendment is not a free-for-all. And so there's plenty of different ways in which you can regulate speech without risking shutting down certain viewpoints. And the problem with the kind of policies that we see at X and so many of these other social media platforms is that they give the companies unbridled discretion to censor speech they don't like or that external activists don't like. Or for instance, in the case of the Twitter files, the government can come in and use those policies to try to force the companies, sometimes successfully, as we're seeing in the case that's at the Supreme Court right now on this issue, sometimes successfully urging them, coercing them to shut down speech the government doesn't like. So the companies need to get rid of those broad policies, those vague policies, and adopt standards that are closer to the First Amendment. If they adopt those kinds of policies, they can still keep out all the riffraff, all the nasty speech, the personal attacks and harassment like you're talking about, but have a forum that's far more open for free speech and dialogue and debate.
All right, Jeremy Tedesco, Alliance Defending Freedom, thank you very much.
Thank you.